Ahoy, everybody. Welcome back to the Prairie Pirate Gaming YouTube channel. As always, I'm Joe Badiah. I know it's been a little while since I've been on here, but let's go ahead and get right into it. So I'm a little bit late on this one, but I was reading a couple headlines about a video that Nintendo had put out recently describing their expansion service that is a add-on to the Nintendo Switch Online kind of platform. And while I did read in the article that it was getting a lot more dislikes than likes, which is not a totally uncommon thing. I remember the Metroid Prime Federation Force got like a significant amount of dislikes to likes. So this is not unheard of. But what got me about it is everybody going in and saying that it was this like super expensive, way overchargy sort of thing. And I know people like to look at big corporations like Nintendo and Microsoft and Sony, and they like to talk about how they're these heartless corporations that are just out there to make money. And while I don't completely disagree in all regards, I gotta say that I disagree with the idea that Nintendo was charging too much for this service. So I went in and I did a little bit of digging, right? So you have the Nintendo Online platform, which when it was initially released had 5 services included in it. One moment. So it had 5 services included with it. And those were online play, cloud storage, retro game emulation, which is the Super Nintendo and the Nintendo. And then you had the promotions that they had that only Nintendo Online subscribers could get. And then you have access to the app. And this new expansion is going to be adding what I would consider to be 2 services. You have the retro game emulation, which is the Nintendo 64 and the Sega Genesis, and then you have the attachment of the DLC for Animal Crossing. So for those of us that don't play Animal Crossing, myself included, we were only getting half the deal anyways. So what I did was I went back and I did some research and found that when Nintendo Online originally released for its $20 price point per year, it came with 40 games. 20 on the NES, 20 on the Super Nintendo. And if you break down the pricing of each one of the features that the original Nintendo had, given that there were 5 features, theoretically, each feature would cost you $4 per year. Now, given that access to those 40 games per year was $4, that means you're paying 10 cents per game per year. Now, over the course of the years that Nintendo Online has been a thing, it does add new games. And at current count, we're up to 107. 58 on the Nintendo and 49 on the Super Nintendo. Now, if you break that price point down again, given that it hasn't changed, you're now paying just under 4 cents per year per game. That sounds like a pretty sweet deal to me, and I don't think I read about too much hate for the Nintendo Online service when that first dropped. At least I don't think its video got ratioed like this other one did. So now when you break down what it costs for the expansion pack, you're looking at $30 for the 2 services. So theoretically, that's $15 per service. On the one hand, you have the DLC for Animal Crossing, which is supposed to be $25, and you are getting access to it for $15. It's not yours to keep, but you are getting access to it for $15. The other side, you have the game emulation, which is a total of 23 games, 9 on the Nintendo 64 and 14 on the Sega Genesis. It's a total of 23 games. So when this first drops, you'll be paying about 65 to 67 cents per game. I don't remember the exact number off the top of my head. If we see the sort of growth from this side, the expansion pass, as we see from the original Nintendo Online, you're looking from 40 to 107. That's a 167% increase in content and no change in price. So if you take that 167 and apply that growth rate to the expansion pass, you're looking at 61 games, which brings the price of each game down to a quarter, literally 25 cents per game per year. And some of these games are freaking hot. Like, they're great games. Ocarina of Time, Mario Kart 64, Super Mario 64, Star Fox 64. Fantastic games, and they're going to add more. So we know that that's coming down the pipeline. So this idea that Nintendo has just gone off their rocker and decided to charge whatever they want to charge, being it being $10 beneath what your average online cost is. Sony and Microsoft both charge $60 per year if you buy per year. If you buy per month with like Microsoft for Xbox Live, you're paying $120 a year. And the other thing that I've seen with some of these people bringing it up, they'll say things like, well, Microsoft gives us free games every month and Sony gives us free games every month. Now, I don't partake much in the Sony free games, and so I can't speak much to that. I have a couple, but I haven't done enough with them to determine what the limitations are. But the thing that I want to say particularly about Microsoft's is that they don't give you free games to keep, okay? You get the games with gold, right? And if you don't keep your gold status, you can't play those games. So they're not free. It's literally exactly the same as what Nintendo is doing right now. And they're charging more. Now, granted, their online platform is a little bit more robust. Their first-party titles are a little bit more prevalent. Like, not very many people are watching like competitive Nintendo playing. Like, I'm sure there are people out there that watch it, but like I don't watch competitive Mario Kart 64, right? I watch competitive Halo, Call of Duty, fuck Fortnite. What's the other one? I watch Rogue Company. I'll watch CS:GO. But anyways, but I digress. So, but the idea, when you line up these price points, the idea that Nintendo has just gone crazy and started to charge whatever they want, that's ridiculous. $50 a year is not a lot. If I did the math right, I wanted to say that it's like $6.50 a month. No, it's less than that. So you're looking at less than $10 a month. And I know some people watching this video, you're paying $10 a month for Netflix, more than that, and Hulu or Disney Plus or Paramount Plus or all of the fucking packages that you can buy shit on ESPN Plus with Hulu and YouTube Premium. I know I shouldn't talk shit on YouTube, being that this is a YouTube channel, but it's $11.99 to remove the commercials from your YouTube. I mean, shit, some of y'all pay for that. So like I said, the idea that they're charging this out of nowhere is just objectively wrong, right? Just right out of the gate, it's objectively wrong. If you do the math and don't just jump on the bandwagon that this is too much, it's wrong. It's not too much. A couple of the variables that aren't being added into the equation on this as well are the fact that all of these games function with the previous features that originally came out with Nintendo Online. They're not charging you again. They're charging you for a different type of content that is now having access to those features. They're charging... we don't yet know if they're going to be releasing more DLC for some of their first-party titles for free through the expansion pass. I think that'd be pretty cool if they did. I think that'd be a pretty excellent motivator to get people to realize that this isn't too much. We've already mentioned that they are putting more games on there, and while we're on the subject of the games, let's just talk about some of the alterations that they have to make to those games to get them to work on the Switch. Like, you can't just push the game out. You can't just rewrite the firmware, right? Or not the firmware, the software, and just make it work, right? You have to, first off, these games are all running at 60 frames per second. And I know on the Nintendo 64, they don't. They don't run at 60 FPS. And I could be wrong, maybe, but I'm pretty sure that I'm not. Second, the controller mapping from Nintendo 64 to Switch isn't one for one. You have to adjust where things are going to go. Do you see a Z button on the Nintendo Switch? No, you don't. You've got just simply the quality of the games. Look at something like Legend of Zelda for the Nintendo and even Super Nintendo, and then compare it to Ocarina of Time for the 64. They are not the same. You can tell, A, because the technology was completely different, and B, like, with the different technology comes a higher level of detail. Like, games on the 64 cost more to make than games on the Nintendo. I say that with a fair amount of confidence. I don't know that, but I say that with a fair amount of confidence that they cost more to make. And finally, you just have the idea that it's $50 a year. If $50 a year is going to break you, I'm sorry to hear that you're in that position. I hope that you get out of that position, because I've been in that position before where $50 a year is literally make or break, right? Where you can't go out to lunch once a month because you simply don't have the money. And so I hope that you get out of that. But if $50 a year is going to break you, you got to get your priorities in order. And yes, escaping reality for a little bit, playing some video games, being entertained, it's good for your mental health, and that is excellent. But if that's the case, then maybe rotate the entertainment priorities a little bit and make it work if you really want to do this, instead of trying to bully a company into giving you more for less. I know that in this current, consumer environment that we live in, more for less is kind of the thing, right? It's the thing. Everybody wants more for less. And sometimes you just can't do that. You don't want to sacrifice quality simply because you don't want to pay as much. You get what you pay for. That's the bottom line in that aspect. You could always chase the idea of emulation. That's fine. It's illegal as fuck in certain instances, but it's fine. So best of luck to you. But again, if it's going to break you, if it's literally too much, not just principally too much, I'm sorry that's happening to you. I'm not here to bash you. I'm not here to tell you that you need to do this or you need to do that. Oh man, I just realized my freaking ceiling is showing in this shit. But whatever, we're going to go with it anyways. Thank you for stopping in and checking out this video. Hit that subscribe button if you want to see more content like this. I do like talking about stuff like this because it really allows me to analyze things, and I like to analyze things. But yeah, hit that subscribe button, hit the little bell so that you can see when I put new stuff on. I'm trying to get more consistent with putting videos on. It's been a few months since I put one on, but that'll get better. Let me know what you think in the comments, right? Tell me if you think I'm wrong. Tell me if you think my math is way off. Am I maybe counterbalancing incorrectly instead of splitting each up to be the same amount of cost? Should they be different? Should the online play be worth $10 a year and the games be worth $6 altogether? I don't know. Tell me what you think about my math, my analysis. And let me know what you say in the comments. I will respond. I do pay attention to that because I do enjoy the interaction with people. Hope everybody has a great week. Hope everybody gets through their great week and has a great weekend. Take care. Follow me on Twitch at Jobadiah. That's Jobidia. I did post some information about this on my channel. So if you are not on my channel, on my Twitter. Wow, I got things mixed up as hell. Follow me on Twitter at Jobadiah, Jobidia. Follow me on Twitch. I stream Wednesdays and Fridays. That's twitch.tv/Jobadiah. That's Jobidia again. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for the support. Take care, and as always, sail on, friends.